I'm going to tell you the most traumatic story of my childhood. I had a pretty good childhood growing up. This was really the only thing that happened. My family and I were going to a family reunion in Arizona, and I wanted to go play with my friend for a little bit before we had to leave. They had this wolf breed dog. His name was Cody. He was the sweetest dog ever. He's never been aggressive or anything until this day. Well, I went to her house. They said that they couldn't play because they had chores to do. So I said that's okay, and I turned to leave. Well, Cody was standing kind of behind my friend, just growling and just being very aggressive. He'd never done that to me before. And for some reason, I turned around, didn't pay no attention to him. My friend told me to run. Apparently, Cody had gotten out of the door and started chasing after me. She screamed for me to run, so I started running. I was a 6-year-old little girl, terrified. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground, this dog just tearing into my back. And I could hear her parents screaming, get the gun, get the gun. And the other parents saying, no, she's too close, I'll hit her. And they were all just standing there watching, at complete and total loss on what to do. I think they were in shock. And my brother came down the road with our dog Spaz. It was a black lab Rottweiler mix. And I truly believe that this dog saved my life that day. My brother was coming down the road on his bicycle to tell me it was time to go. My dog Spaz saw what was going on and ran towards Cody. And I had never seen Spaz look like this before. He pounced on Cody and a dogfight ensued. I managed to get out of it and I got on my bicycle and I started trying to ride away. And my brother was yelling for Spaz to come back home. Well, Cody had ran back up to the house. Spaz started a trail after us. A neighbor had seen everything. I could hardly ride my bicycle. I was in pain. I was scared and I just couldn't really move. She loaded me up in her truck, put my bicycle in the bed of it, and she followed my brother back to our house. I got home and she told my mom what had happened. My mom lifted up my Batman shirt and looked at my back. Amazingly, my shirt had no holes in it whatsoever. And, well, I think it had one little small pinprick hole in it. But she lifted up the back of my shirt and said, oh my God, I see her muscle. And her and the neighbors stayed there talking about it. My grandmother, or step-grandmother, and grandpa came over and was talking about it as well. And step-grandmother was saying that my parents needed to sue them. And my friend's parents pulled up and explained that he had had all of his shots and everything, and they had put him down in their backyard. Well, finally, Mom and Dad said, if the dog is dead, we're not going to sue. But you have to prove to us that it's dead. And so they said that they had shot it with a gun, and that's what the gun noise was in the background that we all heard. That was good enough for my parents. And I went into the kitchen. We had this mirror in there. I had attempted to roll up the back of my shirt and look at it, but I got too scared. And I was loaded up into the van and was taken to the emergency room. They laid me down on this dinosaur table. I don't really remember much from the hospital visit other than them saying that I didn't need stitches. I was just laying on this dinosaur table, wondering if it was real, what kind of eggs would it have. At this point, I'd settled down and everything. I was still in pain though, but then Mom said I had fallen asleep. Well, I woken up when she put me in the van and she took me to Dairy Queen to get some ice cream. And we went ahead and left for Arizona. We made it to Houston to have dinner with my sister. Well, it was supposed to be breakfast. But I suppose it's not really the most interesting story, but definitely the most traumatizing. And to this day, I am absolutely terrified of dogs. If I can handle them, if they're a small breed, because those I know, they can hurt me, but not to the point in the extremes of a bigger dog could. Anytime a bigger dog even comes near me, I freeze up and I shake uncontrollably. So that was just the most terrifying thing I have ever experienced as a child. That's all I've got for today. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe. Gotta figure out how to turn my comments back on though. So I'll get that done eventually. I think it's set on child right now. So alright. Next time I think I'll post a happier video. The video before this one was me ranting in the car about my job. I need some happier videos on here.